Some, I don't know, Devo hit Ring of Honor there for a bit as well, and
I believe so.
yeah, again, where is he now? But yeah, I think they should step away from the old school and focus on your Austin Aries and your female talent. Sarah Del Rey definitely stood out for us this week. I know we spoke about it earlier on.
Absolutely, and at that point, just after that Steve Corino-Bobby Dempsey match, a lot of guys ran in, and I say a lot of guys, I just don't remember their names. It's too much all at once when you're a new viewer, but that was something that happened, and at that point, we had Caelan Croft and Trent Beretta. They were involved in FCW. I'm afraid I'm mistaking there, but as I will move on, excuse me, we'll edit that bit out. But yeah, at that point, a lot of guys ran in. Kevin Steen later on took out Sugarfoot. He smeared his blood on his face. Sarah Del Rey was shooting on Diva Models. 2 thumbs up for that.
Yeah, we're not down with we're down with some divas who've earned their time, but it's good to see real, true wrestlers like Sarah Del Rey who are not afraid to tell it like it is, and not afraid to bash down the models and the people who just want to get into the showbiz world, and they will be wrestlers for the sake of being wrestlers to get noticed. A lot of WWE kind of divas come to mind, but refreshing to see Sarah Del Rey, and good in-ring talent, I think, as well from her.
Yeah, Sarah Del Rey sat and cut a promo backstage, bit of a vignette, and then she came out for a match, and I suppose the only word I could use to describe her would be fierce. That's the only one that I could say is accurate. But that's Sarah Del Rey, who was in a match with Portia Perez, I believe, a girl who looks to be on her way as well. A little bit of a developmental diva there, but certainly she's in the ring with the right girl in Sarah Del Rey. At this point, almost a veteran, I would say, at least in terms of independence and ROH. So Sarah Del Rey defeated Portia Perez, who gave a good performance. And of course, next week we've got the World TV Title Tournament, and that will be interesting. The main event, of course, was Aries and King. They defeated Strong and Tyler Black. So that's pretty much all that happened on ROH this week. We want to see more Cornette.
I definitely want to see more Cornette. Nobody cuts a promo like Cornette, and it's even 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the hell it is. He needs to be on every week, because I think he kind of styles the company too, and a lot of people would remember him from the old school because he's kind of been everywhere at this stage. The TV title will be something to look forward to see who actually does win the tournament. I quite like Kevin Steen. I don't know, put it on Colt Cabana, and Generico or Steen. Maybe Addicted to Love, Red Titus.
I gotta love the Addicted to Love tagline.
I'm addicted to Red Titus. I think he could be a serious contender for new TV champ. But Generico or Steen, my money's on Steen. Yeah, he's great. Kevin Steen is definitely the underdog and very, very underrated. Would be great to see the title on him.
If you've never watched ROH, it's certainly time to start tuning in. Just like TNA had their fan following that brought them to where they are now, ROH is in need of support just as much as you might have given to TNA. ROH needs that build now, and they need to have people behind them and give them that support. Talk about it on the internet forums. Put it over wherever you can. Tell people to watch. It certainly is a great show, and I'm going to be watching weekly from now on. You are listening to the Wrestledope podcast here on Wrestledope.com, and that was our ROH wrap-up. We are going to take a break, and we will be back in just a moment. And we'll cut there, and we are still broadcasting here. We want to say hi to Jedi Popsicles. He's our first viewer, and he has been messaging us. We've also got another person in here, Habs Fever. Just to let you know exactly what's going on here, guys. We're in the middle of recording our wrestling podcast. That's why we're in your wrestling category here on justin.tv. So you're going to hear us stopping and starting, and we're going to be recording bits and pieces for the actual podcast, which is going to be going out tomorrow evening on Wrestledope.com and all those other places that we mentioned. We'll give you more of a wrap up on that. Coming back from an ad break now, and we will come back and we will begin recording now. Welcome back here to Wrestledope on Wrestledope.com, the wrestling radio podcast. Each and every week we watch all the wrestling programming so that you don't have to. That's what we do for you, because we know that sometimes it can be quite a chore.
It can be quite a chore. We're up to 9 hours of programming at the basics. That's not even touching Mexico or Japan. 9 hours of American pro wrestling, which is a good thing. Sometimes it can be quite tough to get through without mentioning some things, but yeah, it's good. It's refreshing, and it gives us, I suppose, choice, and it gives us options. If we don't like one, we can always bitch and moan, and if we do like another, we can always big it up. Just like we're going to do with NXT from this past week.
NXT.
Yeah, I thought it was another good show. I really, really, really like Skip Sheffield, I have to say.
The cowboy gimmick.
The cowboy gimmick, yeah. I just thought his off-screen promo thing that they all did, vignette, I suppose, would be the best way. It was a vignette, but very funny guy. Is it a gimmick? Is it him? Probably more of a gimmick, but he's a funny guy. He definitely got my attention.
Skip Sheffield catching Steven's attention, and it's that cowboy gimmick. We love the gimmicks here on Wrestledope.
We're big fans of the gimmick. And he's in-ring kind of Jeff Jarrett shuffle, a little bit Flair shuffle with that move. God knows what he said when he did it, but made me laugh out loud, and that's something I'm a big fan of. If you can catch my attention for 2 minutes, yeah, I think you're in the good books.
NXT this week, and we had the man that we will forever now call David Otunga, because last week we called him something different. But anyway, we know who he is now, and you can't blame us. It's too many faces all at once. How are we going to remember them all? But anyway, David Otunga, he was not great in his match this week. He did sort of go over. He's a Batista-type big man, and he could be a main event draw, but he's got a lot of work to do.
He's definitely got a lot of work to do. His match was pretty ugly last week, and he botched the end of it prime time. What did we call him? Daniel Otunga last week, was it?
Daniel.
Yeah, Mr. A-List, they've tagged him with, isn't it? Dave A-List Otunga. But job on to Darren Young. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a good move if they want to keep him credible. But then again, you see it all the time, over and back, week on, week off.
Now, one of the things that's really starting to get me in NXT, and I think it's purposeful, I think it's a work, it's Michael Cole, who is really acting like an asshole. Not only is he acting like an asshole, he's telegraphing every single thing he does. When you see him turn around and say to Josh and refer to Josh and his Twitter geeks, his face is going red while he's saying it. The guy can't work an angle. Why have they got him doing it?
It's interesting to watch, right? It's very obvious that it is a work on his behalf, but like you said, he just cannot work it. Even some of the comments he made about Wade Barrett too, similar thing. He can't sell what he's trying to work. So it worked the first time around, but this past week it was a bit hairy on Cole's behalf, I thought.
Michael Cole getting cheekier and cheekier, and you have to wonder what the office are telling Michael and how much they're getting him to act up. There